Good afternoon. I have another little card to share with you. It's an Easter card, and Easter is an odd day today. It's on April 1st, and I thought when someone told me that it was April Fool's. Well, no, it really is. Easter's going to be on April 1st. I've never heard of such a thing. And I'm 65, and I was like, oh my God, I've never heard of that. So I don't know why. I don't know why now it would be doing that, but so be it. Anyway, this is the card that I just want to share with you today. It's a step-up card. See the steps? And I used a pattern I found online, a freebie pattern for my cutter machine over there. And that's the Black Cat Cougar. And this, which they don't make anymore, by the way. So if you get one, you have to get a used one, but they hold up really well. And this one cuts, I think, 18-inch material, which I've never needed to do. I don't think I would ever buy one that big in the future. They have a new one called the Bullet, which is supposed to be really good too. Even better. It's supposed to be more quiet, if that's a problem for anybody, but I don't really care. But, and it's, I suppose, I'm assuming to be even stronger. This is a real strong one. This one cuts real deep, easily. And it etches and it does all kinds of stuff. Anyway, this is my Easter bunny. Little guy here. Easter bunny. There he is. Doo-doo-doo. I don't know if you can see him. Let's pull him out a little bit. Whoop. There's the Easter bunny. There he is. Easter bunny. And some, oh, I love crocus. And some more eggs hidden down there. Happy Easter. Again, I printed this out on my, using my printer. I used Make the Cut software. Gotta, yay, Make the Cut. And I just typed in the words, and with, I did one with the happy, with a like Times Roman font. And I forget which other font it was, but another font for the Easter. And I'm telling you, it's better, to me, it's better than stamping for me, because, especially with words, because if you don't get it directly right on the right amount of pressure and you wiggle it just a smidgen, you mess it all up. And I don't like to waste things. So this is a guaranteed no waste. I printed out on my papers, and then I just used my, depending on what I want, a different die cut there, and then I matched it with the same color yellow. And again, you can adjust the colors on this thing in this Make the Cut software. You can adjust to any color you want of the rainbow. So you find the paper you want, you match the color, easy peasy, and you've got it all blended. Now this piece was a wonderful piece, and I think I purchased this on Etsy. I'm pretty sure I purchased those on Etsy. Can't tell you which one. But just look on Etsy for graphics, and you'll find a whole bunch. Oodles and oodles. And the other thing I used, the other go-to for me for graphics, and I believe in buying them, and I believe in supporting the artists and not, you know, messing with their copyrights. I think it's really important. They work long and hard. Trust me, I've done a lot of graphics myself, and you work long and hard on making these things. So be supportive of their work and pay for it. Buy it. And then be their towel. Make sure their towels, that you're in alignment with those. This is one here, and I'm going to do kind of kittywampus so we don't have anybody just snapping pictures of that. Anyway, that's the one I bought off Etsy. And then this one is... I'm trying to think of her name. Oh, Jaguar Woman Graphics, or Jaguar Graphics. You can look her up. And again, I'm going to go kittywampus, so it'll be a little harder for people to kind of copy it. This didn't come from her, but the others were her graphics. And she does amazing graphics. And I don't, part of her towel is I can't turn around and just sell this piece of paper with all the images on it. I don't do that, and you can't sell her, you can't resell her her graphics digitally, for sure can't do that. You can use her graphics like to make a card, and that's totally okay. That's why she does it. And wonderful woman, wonderful lady. Some people have issues because of all her copyright issues, but I think she's entitled to copyright issues. I mean, she's entitled. She worked hard on them. Anyway, on this one here, to get back to this again, on the back, I also put an extra one where you could stamp a night if you had a stamp and you wanted to do, or again, you could use your printer if you think of something, if you're clever and you come up with some sort of a saying or a poem or something about Easter or, you know, to your favorite person in the world or, you know, whatever you want or something personal. You just type it in there and you match it up, you know, with your fonts and you size it the way you want it on Make the Cut and you just print it out and then you just cut it. In this case, I deliberately used the same, this is again that Fawnway with a wonky kind of stitch. Can you see the stitch on it? You can kind of see the stitch around the edges right there. With that, I did the same thing on the back. Now it's a little harder to see, well maybe not so hard to see. I can see it in here, so hopefully you can too. Same wonky stitch on the back. Now, if I was going to, I left this way so you could hand write whatever you wanted on it. However, honestly, there's no problem with somebody, if I was going to do it where, not with my handwriting, if I was going to write something on it, I would write it first and then use that die cut to cut it out afterwards. And then for sure you'd have it centered and everything and it'd be perfect. The other thing you could do is you could add, here I have one right here. This would be perfect. This is also on the same group of graphics. I would use this little guy right here. Get him out here. Uh-oh. He got tied up with a stickum. Okay, this little guy. He's cute, cute. I would add him right there on the back. I think I will do that. I'll add him on the back. Now with these, because I don't do the white edge, you could, especially on something like this, you could just leave a white edge margin all the way around, which is what we do with Make the Cut software. I've mentioned it in another video I did for St. Patrick's Day. You can put a white margin all the way around the parameter of this entire little chickie, all the way around, and you can adjust it to any size you want. Okay, I can't say enough about Make the Cut software. I use it for so many things. The other thing I use it for, and it's a little tricky, and I'll probably do another video just about this particular way of using it. It's great if you want to do a card that pops out, you know, a pop-up card, or if you want to do like dotted lines. There's a way of doing it. You have to incorporate very carefully. It takes a few more steps, but it works beautifully. You incorporate, how am I going to say this? You incorporate your layers. You know, it works with layers. So you would make a layer, create a layer, and then you go into the special area, and it's not easily seen. And it took me a day to figure out how to do it, but once I figure it out, I need to share that. It's where you put a dotted line, you click, and you have to hold, I think it's the Shift key and the Alt key. I'll double check it. Anyway, you press them at the same time, and you draw the line from here. It starts at here, and then you just pull your line down to where it is, and it has a little crossbar at the bottom, so you know it's straight. And you let go, and then you go up and you change it to a dotted line, and then you have to put in another layer, and you do it again if you want a cut line. You don't want them all on the same layer, because if you put a bunch of dotted lines around on the same layer, or if you put, let's say you put a cut on top and bottom, and a layer and a dot on the sides, if you put them all in one layer, when you save it, it makes it all one. So it'll either make it all dots or it'll make it all cuts, and you don't want that. You want this side dotted and this side dotted, maybe this cut and this cut, or however you want it. You want them individually. So you make each cut, each line that you make, not each dot, but each line. If you're having a line of dots, you put it on its own layer. And that way you end up with what you're trying to do. It works. Anyway, I cannot say enough positive things about Make the Cut software. Again, it will not work with Cricut. It will not work with Cricut because they were sued by Provo, I believe, who makes Cricut. It was their previous CEO that filed a lawsuit with them. And I mentioned this only again. I mentioned it before. I only mention it again in case you haven't seen the other videos. It was a mistake on Provocraft because course, they didn't want anyone to, they wanted to force people to use their cartridges. And Make the Cut software allows you a lot more freedom for designing and creating your own images. And they fought them, and Procrast filed a lawsuit against Make the Cut. And Make the Cut's just like a guy in his garage. We're not talking a big corporation. And so they finally settled where they said, okay, we won't sell anything to Cricut anymore. They're still in business. They're a great company. They also have another product software they've come up with, which also makes pop-up cards. And so you can either use Make the Cut software itself to make them, or you can use this other software that they sell. So I've tried them both. I like working I just stick with Make the Cut. It's so easy. So easy to do. I love it. Anyway, so God bless you all. May you have a wondrous and chocolate-filled Easter. And I wish you all the best, and hope you enjoyed the class. I kind of wandered off a bit, but I go off on little tangents sometimes, so I have no one here to pull me back. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the class. Bye.